It's me, Shimigami X, and I've got for you, of course, yet another Bleach chapter review. This chapter is actually chapter 530, titled Everything But the Rain 3. Alright, so this is the third time we've had this title, but that's not important. So let me get into this review straight away, because that's what you're here for. Alright, the chapter starts out with seeing Ishin is now in the world of the living due to investigating because of the activity of Aizen. You know, obviously with hollows and whatnot. Alright. So then what happens is that the panel changes so we're seeing two Shimigami. We're not sure what squad they belong to, but we know they're just two regular Shimigami that are, you know, basically protecting the Kurakara town and the world of the living. Like, they're the Shimigami that were sent there. Alright. They're continue conversing between each other, saying that the two that were sent before them were killed on a rainy night just like this. And they're basically scared that they don't want to die. Then on the next page they bump into Ishin Shiba. They bump into Ishin. Sorry guys, got a bit of a cold. Alright, so they bump into Ishin, and then they ask Ishin, like, you know, what's he doing there? Ishin, like, quite funny enough, makes a joke and says, like, oh yeah, I was looking for a toilet, and then in his thoughts saying, like, oh, that was the lamest lie ever. So yeah. They also continue to talk, like, basically just generally chit chat, saying that you know, well, Ishin's just saying that, you know, I'm glad I didn't come here, you know, for no reason. Like, there's a reason for me coming here, because they just confirmed that there's a problem going on, and the reason that he came is not for no reason. Alright, on the next page, Ishin, like, his demeanor changes, and you see that he's gone into serious mode, and then serious mode is like he's saying to the two Shimigami that are with him that, you know, they better go because he wants to pee alone, like basically playing along in the joke. But now he's taking it seriously, so he's more or less telling them to go home because things are about to get messy, and he's obviously here for business. Alright, now the panel changes, and we're in the Ishida household. This is obviously long before you know, Uryu Ishida, so it's his family. And what we see there is we see Masaki. Masaki was basically a part of the Ishida household. Like, she was due to be married into them, as we find out later on in the chapter. The mother's having a go at her, saying that, you know, how was basically her schooling, saying that, yeah, school's fine and whatnot. She found a way to get, like, you know, extra food and whatnot for free, but she wasn't talking about that. She's asking about how's the holy training going on. And she says that, oh, that she's just started it, and then, you know, the mother of the household, you know, the main woman of the household, begins to, you know, grill her and get at her about it. Like, you know, she's in this household, like, her main training is to become a Quincy and maintain the, you know, the pure Quincy blood. So, you know, she better start taking her training seriously. At that moment, a new character that we ain't seen yet has just been introduced, and his name is Ryu, and he looks very similar to Ishida. So you can tell that it's the same household, whatnot. It's probably one of his, you know, distant relatives, like, you know, father or something like that. We're not 100% sure. So, what happens next is that, you know, he basically saves the day for her, stops Masaki from being grilled, you know, and then the mother walks out and says that, oh yeah, food is ready, whatnot, like, eat it, finish it, you know, just general, you know, greetings and whatnot. Alright, then what happens next is Masaki and Ryu begin to talk, and, you know, basically Masaki's thanking him for, you know, like, basically sticking up for her, and he's saying, like, oh, it's nothing, you know, just brushes it off, you know. So what happens next after that is he asks the maid of the household, you know, basically talking about the maid of the household, Ryu, let me make this specific, Ryu starts to talk about the maid of the household just after Masaki's gone to her room, and, you know, after they have the little joke saying that, yeah, if you don't finish your shrimp, you know, I'm gonna eat, like, I'll eat it for you, you know, just like family does. So he begins to talk to, you know, the maid of the household. For the life of me, I can't remember her name, but yeah, he begins to talk to her and say that, oh, you know, like, basically, it's nice that the maid of the household says to Ryu that it was nice that he stuck up for Masaki, but he said, like, oh, it's nothing, he just wanted to see her happy. And then she's like, oh, it's nice that you want to see her happy, and he's like, no, I don't want to see her happy in that sense, because you know why she's here. The reason she's here is to basically marry into the Ishida family, to keep the pure Quincy bloodline pure, like a pure Quincy, because she is a pure Quincy. And then he said that marriages should be based on love, not based on, you know, traditions and sentiments and keeping the bloodline pure. That's basically what his message was, and she generally agrees with him. So after their short conversation, what happens is we go back to Ishin, and he's standing posing in the rain, and while he's in the rain, he continues to talk about, like, you know, like, oh, it started to rain. And so he's looking around, he doesn't see a hollow, so he thinks to himself, okay, maybe it will, considering that it's attacked Shimigami, its target are Shimigami, maybe it reacts to strong Reiatsu. So he jumps down into, like, the middle of the street, and he's searching. He says he thinks he finds something, but it's nothing. Then he jumps down and releases his Reiatsu. The 2 Shimigami that he sent home now are still spying on him, like they're still there, but, you know, Ishin doesn't know that they're there. Well, maybe he does know, but there's no indication to say that he knew they were there. So he releases Reiatsu, and they're impressed at, you know, the Reiatsu of a Shimigami at captain's level. So with him releasing his Reiatsu, now this being appears, like, you know, in the next panel, and he seems shocked because this being looks menacingly very much like a hollow. And then he just says, he quite bluntly says, "What is that?" And obviously, and that was the end of the chapter. Well, you see that, well, you see the image of the hollow, you know, standing, and looks like a Vasto Lorde hollow. But yeah, that's the end of the chapter, guys. So okay, now for the review bit. Alright, overall, I would say this chapter was good. Not great, good. So I'm gonna give it the rating now. I give it a good 7.5 out of 10. And my reasons for that are, I'll explain later on. But first off, let's start off doing this in a linear way. Okay, what I do like about the chapter, I thought the chapter was very informative, and I thought the chapter was good for character development in terms of Ishin, because we see Ishin's relationship with like other members of the Soul Society that may or may not even be in his squad. I don't think they are in his squad, because even other squad members from other squads refer to other captains as, you know, formerly as like Captain Shiba or, for example, Captain Hitsugaya. They, you know, keep it very formal. So it's unclear whether they are part of his squad or not a part of his squad. But nevertheless, I'm pretty sure none of that matters. What it does show is that, you know, he's quite a friendly and easygoing character in terms of, you know, his role in the Soul Society. Like, other Shimigami can easily talk to him, he can easily talk to them. There's no awkwardness, and there's no overly need to be so formal around him. Like, even he makes like sly jokes and whatnot, as we saw in the last chapter with him and Rangiku, and we see in this chapter where he's saying that, oh, like they ask him why is he here, and he says, oh yeah, I'm here to find the toilet. So yeah, so we see, like, you know, that side of Ishin even more, which is all good, you know, like character development, knowing more about Ishin is all great. Then into the middle part of the chapter, the main bulk of the chapter now, we go into the Ishida household. And this surprised me to know that, you know, the Ishida household, being Quincy's and whatnot, took Masaki in. Like, they weren't, you know, straight blood relatives, but she basically is like a relative to Ishin, in a sense. I don't think they're, you know, directly related, otherwise she wouldn't be marrying into the Ishida household. So that wouldn't make sense. But I think that is great, because now we understand more about Ichigo's mother, and we understand more about her origins. We understand the fact that she is a pure-blooded Quincy. She's not mixed with anything, so she's not part hollow. She is a pure Quincy, as Ishin is a pure Shinigami. Like, nothing more, nothing less there. So Ichigo is a straight hybrid of Shinigami and Quincy, not anything else. Although he has his own hollow powers, but that's not what it's about. That's his origins. His origins are half Shinigami, half Quincy. He is a hybrid. Fact. Alright. And we also see that, you know, they're treating her nicely to an extent, but but the mother of the household, like the main woman of the household, is treating her in a way that, you know, she just wants her to develop her powers. And when saying holy training, I believe she's talking about, you know, developing a final holy form, as we saw like several chapters ago that Kurge did when he was fighting against what's that beast's name again? You guys know the beast I'm talking about. It's not Akon. For the life of me, I can't remember the beast's name. But yeah, when he's fighting against that beast, he was in his final holy form. So she is doing her training to develop one of those, as well as being at school at the same time. So very similar to Ichigo, more or less living a double life. You know, where 1 minute she's at school doing whatnot, then the next minute she's training to develop her final holy form. Okay, so, and it was just nice to see the interaction between, you know, her and the Yoshida household and get a more in-depth understanding about her background and whatnot. What else I think was good is that coming towards the end of the chapter now, we get confirmation that this is a hollow that we've seen, because you can tell by the mask, you can tell by the hollow hole, and looking at this hollow, it looked like a Vasto Lorde hollow, which I did call last chapter that, you know what, the thing that looks like it could have taken out Ishin was a Vasto Lorde hollow, and I've called it, and it seems to be proof positive that that is the case. But we haven't seen it take him out yet, but it looks like it will, because, you know, it's a Vasto Lorde hollow, and the mask, funny enough, resembles very much of like Ichigo's mask when he became a Vasto Lorde hollow when he took out Ukiura. But that's besides the point. What I also liked is that we can see that Aizen's experiments are the cause of a lot of problems. As we know the story with you know, Shinji and the other Vizards, we know about the war he did with against the Soul Society, but we can even see from back here he's caused a lot of problems in terms of making Squad 10, I'm gonna call it, lose its captain by, you know, making him use his powers and lose them and be defeated in battle. He's caused a lot of problems, and even said so in the beginning of the chapter that, you know, Ishin has gone to the world of the living, basically to deal with a problem that is a result of Aizen's experiments. So, yeah, that's really my thoughts on the chapter. I thought the chapter was very good, very informative for character development in terms of Ishin and, you know, Masaki, and you begin to see how they interact, how they're about to meet up, because, you know, we know from a chapter before he's left on the floor, left for dead, and then she comes and heals him. So you can kind of see how the flashback is tying in, and I think that the flashback will go on. I do think the flashback will continue into next chapter, maybe in the chapter after that. So I say about a good 2, maybe 3 more chapters of this flashback, and then we're back into the main storyline. But overall, I do think the chapter was good. My downers on the chapter is that you know, it was a bit slow starting. For example, although it was good to see Ishin's relationship with, you know, other Shimigami in the Soul Society, but it wasn't at all relevant. What the bits that were relevant was that, you know, he's in the world of living, he's about to face this hollow. Masaki is in the Yoshida household, due to marry into the Quincy family. So those are the things that were very important in this chapter, and you know what, that's all I have for this chapter today, guys. So, you know, let me know your thoughts. As always, comment, rate, subscribe as always for more videos of like this, for more Bleach reviews, for more game reviews, etc. Anyways, guys, this is me, Shimigami X. I'm signing out. Take care and peace.